What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Today's gonna be a little bit different. I'm not gonna be doing any exercises. I'm actually gonna be discussing a topic. Why do you work out? I'm gonna go over the reasons why I work out. Usually there's more than one reason why people get into fitness. Or why do you not work out? What is the reasoning behind you not getting into fitness? I'd like to hear in the comments what everybody's reasons are. I know there's usually more than one. I know it usually changes as you get older. For me, I grew up with a military father, so he was into working out, and my goal was really to be, I had some situations with my father. I mean, I'm not going to go into that on this video, but I wanted to be stronger than him, basically is what it came down to. I wanted to be able to say, hey man, nah, I'm in charge now, buddy. Which eventually it did come to that day. So maybe I'll go over that in a different video. But my goals changed over the years. I wanted to be the biggest, the strongest. And now I would say the reason I stay on this, a lot of people ask me, why do you train so hard? What are you training for? Are you going to like compete or what? Nah, I'm probably never going to compete. A lot of people get into this for vanity reasons, and I know that is a lot of why people start getting into fitness. You want to look good, which there's nothing wrong with that, man. I like looking good, but it's more than that for me, man. I like if you've never worked out and know how it feels once you get healthy, the feeling is incredible. And coming from being a drug addict and having an addictive personality and wanting to feel good all the time, if you come from that sort of background and you get into fitness, it's a very similar feeling. Like you get a high off of working out and being healthy. Like I feel so good after a workout, and it's really indescribable. If you've never worked out and had that feeling, I can't really describe it for you. And it's a hard work to get there. A lot of people don't want to put the work in, man. And I get that, man. If you've never felt that, why would you, it's hard. Why would you want to go through that if you've never felt that feeling? But those of you who are into fitness know what I'm talking about. It feels awesome, especially when you got your nutrition on point. And it's a lot of people want like instant gratification these days, and it's taken me years and years to eat the way I do. I mean, every year I get a little bit stricter on my diet, a little bit stricter, and I tweak my exercises. Like now, I'm not in it to be like the biggest and the strongest anymore. I'm in it for longevity. I want to be healthy. I want to be an old man who can still, I've said this before, can still run around with my grandkids, or help somebody have a situation if I need to. I don't want to be an old crippled up in a wheelchair and be like, oh, I wish I would have done something. I don't want to be that guy, man. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people are going to end up like that, and then they want to change something when they get to that point, but it's too late, you know what I mean? So a lot of people say, hey man, I want to start working out with you. I want to do it on January 1st. And like, man, I don't even want to hear that shit, really. You know what I mean? Why not start today? Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But to get into another reason that I really am into fitness is because it keeps me straight, man. Staying sober is a constant battle. If you've been a drug addict for a long period of time, you know what I'm talking about. It's an everyday battle. I mean, and I got 2 kids. I got another kid on the way. Life is stressful, man. Everything is a trigger. That's another reason I like to get out of the environment because I've lived here my whole life, so there's a lot of triggers for me around here. And stress, stress is gonna hit anybody, and then you're gonna get to that point where you're gonna slip up, man. I'm not gonna say I've never slipped up. Since I've had kids, I've been doing great, man. I know it's not just for me anymore, man. It's for my family, so it really keeps me straight. And I work out constantly. Like now I also have asthma really bad, and I've had health issues because of that. I had a lung collapse one time. Spontaneous pneumothorax is what it's called. You get a pinhole in your lung and air leaks out. I woke up and I could feel the air coming out of my neck. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't catch my breath. Luckily, I got to the hospital. I couldn't even talk. I called my girlfriend at the time. She got me to the hospital. Everything was okay. But that's another reason that I keep up with my cardio and everything, because my asthma is terrible. And if I don't keep up with it, I will have asthma attacks multiple times a day. So what I do now is I have a high school behind my house, and I run at least a mile, mile and a half, 2 miles sometimes on the track late at night, 11 o'clock at night in the pitch black, no one's around. It's a good feeling, man, just to run. I don't do like long distance running or anything. I'm not trying to be like a long distance runner, but yeah, that's really helped my asthma. I mean, I'm already in pretty good shape as it is, but running shape and then lifting weights is totally different, man. I have had people come to get trained by me like, yeah, I can run 10 miles. And then I have them do some burpees or some squat presses or even some squats. And they're like, oh my goodness, like this is totally different. Like, yeah, you got to be strong in both areas, in my opinion. But I'm getting off track here. Another thing that kind of goes against my sobriety and against my principles now is like my wife works at a barbershop, and she cuts a lot of men's hair and she does women's hair. I mean, she's great. She's won best women's hair in our area and best men's haircut. So she's got tons and tons of clients. And I understand that men are going to flirt with my wife. It's part of the job, man. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when people get disrespectful, man. My wife's pregnant right now. And even when she's not pregnant, though, these guys will say some crazy things. And they don't think she comes home and tells me this shit. That's my fucking wife, man. She's going to tell me. So, I'm big on respect, man. I respect you, you respect me. To talk to my wife the way that some of these guys talk to me, man, it's disrespectful not only to me and her, but it's disrespectful to your own wife and your own family. A lot of these guys are married talking to my wife like, hey, propositioning my wife. I'm not going to repeat what they said. So I was recently in the shop, and this dude that I know constantly propositions my wife came in there, and I'm in there with both of my sons. And I'm like, man, I want to smack this dude so bad, man. The old me would have smacked him. You know what I mean? I'm like, it was hard. So I go over to walk out, and I just stare at this dude. Like, I just want to let him know, man, like, I just don't want you talk. I wanted to say, like, man, but I think if I would have started talking to this dude, something bad would have happened. So I just stared at him. So then this dude, he felt intimidated, I guess. So he had to say some shit about me to my wife. So my wife, of course, tells me, and he's saying I was ready to punch your husband in the face and stab him and shit. Like, and this dude's older than me, man. Like, I'm almost 40 years old. What kind of grown man, first of all, talks to women the way he talks to them? And he's a married man himself. It's just disrespectful, man. Disrespectful motherfucker. But I'll get back on point. So I'm going to go into a quick story about how, I was a personal trainer for a while, so I had to take CPR classes a lot. And I took them in college also. So I've taken CPR classes, I don't even know, maybe over 5 times. So I'm pretty good with all the CPR stuff. And when I was trying to get clean, I was on the methadone program, and I was trying to get clean. I got a job as a limousine driver. So my first night driving, and mind you, if you ask anybody that knows me, I'm not the best driver. I have bad eyesight. I have to wear glasses. I'm not wearing them for this video because I just don't like the way they look on me, but here's my glasses right here. I have to wear them if I'm doing anything. Yeah, so that comes relevant later in the story. The first people I had to pick up that night was for a family reunion. And this is in a part of town that I'm not familiar with. I had to drive, it's about an hour away from my house. So I had to pick this family up, a couple members of the family, like the patriarch of the family, and drop them off at a hall. And then while they're at the hall, I had to go pick up some veterans, and I'm taking them to the Shamrock Festival in Washington, D.C. I don't know if anybody's ever been to that. I had never been. When I dropped them off, these guys were just fresh from Iraq, veterans. These guys were, very polite. They tipped me very well. It was very interesting. I was waiting for them outside the Shamrock Festival. There's naked ladies running around, like just jumping on my window, trying to get in the limousine. I was like, man, this is crazy. I like this job. You know what I mean? This might work out pretty good for me. But yeah, I drove around for a little bit. I picked them up, took them back. They tipped me great. It was great. The rest of the night, I'm kind of like waiting around for these people to be done with the family reunion. So eventually that time comes. I think it's about, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning. They want to get picked up and get taken home. So when I get to the hall they're at, come in, have some drinks, and I'm kind of, I'm in recovery. I'm on methadone, but I'm not, I'm not partaking in a lot of, I'm trying to stay away from drinking and drugs and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to get me to drink, and I'm like, I stayed in there with them for a while, and then they're like, hey, can you take not only us home? So when I took them there, it was only a mother and father and their daughter and their daughter's friend, and the daughter was 16 and her friend was 16. So when they come out, they're like, can you take home, it was about 10, 15 other people that wanted to get in the limousine. And I was like, yeah, why not? It's fine. So it starts pouring down rain. And mind you, it's nighttime, I can't see. I'm very nervous. So I'm driving them home, and everybody's fun, having fun, drinking. All of a sudden, I see a bottle fly across the limousine and hit somebody, and people are screaming and yelling. And I had the little window that rolls down between me and the customers. I had it cracked, so I rolled all the way down. Like, what's going on? They're arguing. Everybody's like, calm down, be quiet, be quiet. And the people that I originally picked up, the mother and the father, they're arguing and they're fighting, and she's trying to scratch his face, and she's taking pills, and she's trying to give me pills, like running up to the front of the limo saying, hey, these are Oxycontins. I eat these is my candy. You want some candy? I'm like, nah, you don't know nothing about it. I was like, yeah, please leave me alone, man. Can you sit down, I'm nervous as it is. It's my first day driving a limousine. So they finally sit down, calm down, and then all of a sudden, one of the uncles that was there sat next to me, and he's like, here, I'll try to keep him in check. I'm like, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. They start fighting again. So all of a sudden, I don't know what brings this about. I can't remember. This is probably 10 years ago for me almost. The woman tells her husband that the daughter that they bring with them, the 16-year-old that's sitting right there, the daughter is not his daughter. And she proceeds to tell this guy that she is actually his best friend's daughter. And this guy, I guess he figured it was true. Off the break, man, this guy just starts crying, and they really start going at it now. And I'm talking to that uncle. I said, man, can you get this under control? He said, yeah. Starts like breaking him up. She's hitting him in the head with bottles. And this guy's like, oh my God. She's like, hey, thanks for the money for 16 years, chump. I mean, she's saying all kinds of stuff to this guy that I'm not going to repeat. The daughter's in shock. She's sitting right there with her friend. They're crying. I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening? So I pull over to this neighborhood where I'm dropping off some of the family members. And the uncle's like, hey man, we gotta get out here, buddy. I'm sorry to leave you. I said, hey man, nah, you can't leave me here with these people. He said, I'm sorry, man, I gotta leave. All of a sudden, the woman takes off into the neighborhood, and it's pouring down rain. I'm like, great. I mean, this is the woman that's supposed to tip me. I'm supposed to take her home. So I'm like, man, I'm never getting any money tonight. I'm quitting this job. Fuck this is what I'm saying. I mean, sorry for my language, but basically what I'm saying in my head is like, these people are gonna get me in trouble, man. They're trying to get me drugs. Like, people are fighting. Like, I just got out of a lot of trouble too, mind you. So they eventually get the lady back in the car. All the family gets dropped off at this house. They don't want any parts of this. So they leave me alone with the husband, the wife, they were just fighting, the daughter and her friend. Everybody's crying. Everybody's crying. This guy's like, oh God, he sits up next to me. What should I do? I'm like, hey man, I can't tell you what to do, buddy, but you know what I mean? I know what I would probably just maybe go somewhere else for the night. He's like, no, take us back home. So I'm driving him home. Everybody's crying. They're fighting. Thanks for the money, motherfucker. And she's going at him. She just won't leave this guy alone. And I mean, the whole time she's eating pills. I'm like, man, this lady has a high tolerance or something's going to happen. So we're almost to the house. We're almost there. I'm like, thank God, get these people out of my car. So we get to the house, and I rolled the window back up. I'm like, I don't want to hear any more of this shit. I'm just going to keep driving. They start pounding on the window. I'm like, what now? I roll the window down, and they're like, do you know CPR? And I was like, yeah. Why? What's going on? Mom's not breathing. She's not waking up. I'm like, are you serious? They're dumping stuff on her head. She's not waking up. They're trying to pull her out of the limo. Once I stop, they're trying to pull her, and they can't. Now, I'm about 250 pounds lifting weights at this time, so I get back there, and this woman wasn't very big. I mean, she's probably like 130 pounds. I just picked her up, pulled her out of the car, get her on the ground, tilt her head back, start performing CPR. they're all standing around. Oh God, oh God. I about to do chest compressions on her. I do a couple breaths. And then all of a sudden she comes to, I'm okay. Jumps up. I'm like, oh my God, someone's about to die on me. So the dad's crying, oh, I'm sorry, I love you, honey. And they're hugging, oh, I shouldn't have did this and this. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious, man? Is this real life? Is it like a hidden camera show or something? So I'm like, I'm expecting to get no money. Like, just get out of here is what I'm thinking. The lady rolls over, she pulls something out of her back pocket and hands it to her daughter and says, give this to him. I'm like, you need an ambulance or something? They're like, we'll take care of it. The lady hands me some money and she's like, all right, thank you. So I get in the car and I look and it's like, man, there's a little bit of money here. So I counted and it's $400. So I rolled the window back down and I said, hey, if you guys ever need another limo driver for your next family reunion or whatever, you got my number. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning at this time. I called my best friend. I'm excited. I never had like a lot of real jobs up until this point. I did, but I was, like I said in some other videos, I was a criminal. I was a drug addict. I was excited. I was like, I got $400. He's like, why are you waking me up telling me this? And then I kind of tell him the story. He's like, just call me tomorrow. Tell me the rest of the story. So, I don't know. The moral of that story is if I wasn't strong enough to pull her out and I didn't know CPR from being a personal trainer, that lady might have died that night. And I have a couple other crazy limo stories. Maybe I'll tell them. I haven't told a story in a while, so I figured I'd go on here. It's real dope workouts. So, it's supposed to be dope stories and the workouts. So, I'm going to try to get some more stories on here. I appreciate everybody listening to my story. I know it's kind of long. I would really like to hear everybody's reason that they work out, and if they don't work out, why they don't. I'd like to hear the excuses so I can maybe try to help you steer towards the right direction. I don't know. But like I said, I appreciate everybody for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business, not because they want to do